read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Emma Kirsten claims the defendant stole a diamond and emerald necklace that her boyfriend gave her as a gift. Evan Rawlins says his 81-year-old dad has dementia and was not of sound mind when he handed over a family heirloom.
I see I've got Emma Kirsten here as my plaintiff and Evan Rawlins as my defendant. Miss Kirsten, I see you are suing Mr. Rawlins for $8,000. You say he stole some property from you. What brings you to court, ma'am?
That is correct, ma'am. Mr. Evans here has stolen a necklace from me that was given to me by his father, John.
By his father?
By his father, yes.
Okay. And what would prompt his father to give you such a expensive necklace?
His 81-year-old father.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll get to the facts.
Yes, he's my partner. We met 5 years ago.
As a romantic partner?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is he indeed 81, as the defendant says?
Yes,
He's in dementia now.
Okay, sir, I got it from here. So he's 81, and how old are you, ma'am?
30.
50 years between the two of you?
I know, I know.
I'm just trying to figure out the facts.
I wouldn't believe it either, but until you're in the situation, you never really know.
Love, love, love. Okay. All right. So you, how do you meet such a gentleman with such a gap?
We met at a charity event that my girlfriend Chelsea was throwing.
Okay.
And I just went to support her, and I was super nervous, so I went up to the bar, and he went up as well, and we got to talking. I found out he's a businessman, and I had taken some business classes in college, so I kind of picked his brain. And
which wasn't so long ago for you.
Yes.
College. Yeah.
And we just got to talking. We went out for coffee the next morning, and we just had such a great time that we continued our romantic relationship. Several weeks later, we professed our love for each other, and really just...
A man with dementia.
Sir, one more outburst, and you're not even going to present your case. Well, let's get to what we're really in court about. You ultimately say that this man, the son of your romantic partner.
Yes.
And he's still with us, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
just making sure. Okay.
Yes.
So his son stole, you say, a necklace?
His father, or yes,
he stole.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes.
The necklace that you're saying his father gave you.
Correct. Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
And why would you think he would do such a thing?
Well, one day I moved in with Johnny, and Evan was visiting very sporadically from New York. He doesn't live here in California, so he doesn't really know what's going on. But anyway, I took off my necklace so that I could take a nice bath. And when I returned, the necklace was missing. So I went up to Evan and said, "Hey, you know what happened to my necklace?" And you know what he said? He said, "Yeah, I took it."
Oh, so you admit that you took this necklace?
This is a family heirloom. This was, my mother died 10 years ago. It belonged to her. Thank you very much. It was given to her by my father for an anniversary gift. This was we consider this a family heirloom. I was hoping to have this necklace for my daughter's wedding.
Your father's not even deceased yet, sir. So how are we talking about giving away something you have not even inherited yet?
That's true.
So I just want to clock that.
Okay.
Does anybody have a photo of this missing jewelry?
I do.
Okay, or is that the jewelry
This
itself?
is it right here.
Okay, Elijah, will you please grab that for me so I can get a sense as to this contentious necklace? My goodness, okay. Thank you, sir. Oh, wow. So this is indeed a very beautiful necklace, everyone can see. This looks like some gorgeous emeralds and diamonds here.
Yes. So we kept it in a safe. It was locked, and it was for safekeeping for special occasions. Once my mother passed away, and so it was shocking to me when I saw it out in the open. It was, right there, and so.
So it was triggering to you.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I mean,
now, when you saw it, sir, did you kind of put two and two together that the necklace had been gifted to the young lady.
Clearly it was, because my father is not well right now. He's in stage 3 dementia. And to see it out like that, I didn't know how it got out, and was not happy to see it out. And so I took it.
So when you say outside of the safe?
Outside of the safe, correct.
Okay, let me ask you this. Ma'am, how long have you been dating the defendant's father?
5 years now.
Okay, so that's a long time, sir. And and when did he give you the necklace?
About 1 year ago.
About 1 year ago?
Yes.
And when were you alleging that his dementia started, sir?
It started even before they met.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
You're saying that you don't even think your father made the purchases, and you're suggesting to this court that this young lady is stealing.
It's quite possible, yes.
And later,
You were the source of all of this information I just read aloud.
Yes.
And are your children still allowed to play with each other?
I'm okay with that.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Emma Kirsten, who was fighting with Evan Rawlins over his family's heirloom necklace.
Are you or anyone else considered your father's legal guardian or anything like that?
Well, we share a bank account, which was just to kind of monitor when my mother passed away. We
But he's on it too, correct?
Right, we're both on it.
So it's not a conservatorship. See, what I'm trying to see is if your father has retained ability to operate in his own legal faculties.
He does, but we share it together, and we did this early in the dementia just to make sure to kind of monitor. And I'm glad I did, because there were a number of red flags that appeared for like withdrawals
account?
on the account.
And you have evidence of this?
I do.
Okay,
yes.
Elijah, please. Here, you can give me back the necklace first of all. I certainly don't want to be accused of anything. And then get the gentleman's evidence for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see here. I see $2,400 for some luxury clothing from a ladies' boutique. I see a cash withdrawal for $3,000. I see retail jewelry, $1,900. Some shoes for a little over $4,000. Cash withdrawal, $2,500, some more jewelry. So it looks like you've got a total of, about 40-ish grand a year that your father is spending on this young lady.
Yeah, those are just the large amounts that I want to flag. And I've learned recently that she also had access to his passwords. I have a feeling that possibly this woman got access to the key and was able to access these account numbers because she was...
So wait a minute. So not only are you saying that these are just exorbitant purchases your father made, you're saying that you don't even think your father made the purchases, and you're suggesting to this court that this young lady is stealing.
It's quite possible, yes.
What do you say to that, ma'am?
I say that is ludicrous. It's not that atypical for a wealthy man to buy his loved one something nice.
Now, she makes a compelling argument, sir. The reality is your father is a multimillionaire, yes?
Yeah, he does. He did very well for himself, yes.
He's a multimillionaire, yes?
Yes.
So in that context, now, I have to agree with you. I think $40,000 a year on gifts and tokens is a lot, but I don't know in the context of a multimillionaire, it seems like it might be considered reasonable.
But if he's not in his right mind, he's had a caregiver. Initially, we did have someone, Maria took care of him full time, was there in the house, and was taking care of my dad, because my family lives in New York.
Yes.
And so things, you know.
So you weren't able to be there and care for him,
all the time.
So you hired a full-time caretaker.
Right, we made it there as much as possible.
I understand.
Yeah.
But are you taking on some of that responsibility now, ma'am?
I am, yes. I moved in about 2 years into dating. Johnny expressed how concerning it was to have a caregiver. It really disorients a person to have someone else living in their home that they don't really know. So,
and I have heard that.
Well, we have vetted this person. We talked
That's not the issue,
that's
sir.
irrelevant.
It's still hired help, and she's saying that if she was... listen, I can't question love, sir, okay? If she says she loves this man 50
I
years
do love
plus,
him, and he has even written me letters confirming his love. I do, yes, ma'am.
Please give your whole folder, please. Thank you. Okay, thank you. My dearest Emma, you are the most beautiful woman in the whole world. Being with you has brought me the most joy in all of my days. No shade to your mom. Your smile can light up a room and your eyes sparkle like the ocean. I promise I will give you the whole world and treat you like the beautiful queen that you are. I can't wait to marry you one day and give you all your heart's desires. You deserve all the amazing things in the world. I love you dearly. Yours truly, John Rawlins. This is from your dad.
This is from a highly educated man.
Is this your dad's signature, sir?
I can't tell, but because of dementia, I'm not 100% sure, but it sounds like it was written by her. He's a highly educated man. It does not sound like the way he writes.
Well, he probably doesn't talk to you like that because you don't have eyes sparkling like the ocean. I'm prepared to make a ruling here. This is the deal. Now, I'm going to tell you, a 51 by my count age gap is quite atypical. However, I'm going to respect his choice, no matter how skeptical I may be, because you have not presented evidence today, sir, that your father is incapacitated legally. You have not presented evidence that he has any type of legal custodian. So therefore, I have to give him the benefit of the doubt, per the law, and say that this young lady seems to be compelling in her testimony and in her evidence that your father cares for her deeply. He loves her as deep as the ocean blue of her eyes, and therefore because you're unwilling to give the actual necklace back, and I can't make you. You're right about that. I can make her whole financially. Therefore, I'm going to rule in favor of the plaintiff here, $8,000 to restore the value of the necklace. I hope you and Mr. Johnny live happily ever after.
Thank you,
That's my
Judge.
ruling.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $8,000.
This was a family heirloom. It means so much. I feel like she was just asking for $8,000. That's all she cared about.
I just feel like justice was served today.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
I understand like maybe 5 minutes, but when it gets over 20 minutes, I have a little bit of concern.
And you know it's 20 minutes because you're timing it?
Yes, and I also have a text message
Oh, wow,
exchange
okay.
with my
I was
neighbor.
being facetious.
This is Equal Justice. Melissa Simmons claims a neighbor's complaint led to a Child Protective Services investigation that traumatized her children. Hannah Brooks says she heard screams coming from the plaintiff's home, so she called the police.
I see I've got Melissa Simmons as my plaintiff and Hannah Brooks as my defendant. Ms. Simmons, you are suing Ms. Brooks for $3,900. You have an emotional distress claim. What brings you to court, ma'am?
There was an incident last August with my neighbor Hannah's daughter and my two younger children, Jesse and Lily. They were playing in our house where Genevieve, my oldest daughter, who was 16 at the time, the other kids were 8. She was watching them while I was still at work. And the younger kids decided to spray water guns at her as a joke, as a prank.
Okay.
She cussed them at them.
You said she cursed
She cussed at them,
Okay.
yeah. Because of this, Hannah decided to call CPS on me.
Like as in Child Protective Services,
Yes.
ma'am? Okay. So she's essentially saying that her kid was fussed out, we'll say, cussed out really, because not necessarily because of the 16-year-old, but because you weren't there. Well, let's hear from Ms. Brooks.
Yes.
How long have you two lived next door to each other?
6 years. And throughout the years, like obviously we've gotten to know each other. We are not very close. Our kids are. And of course I hear things from her kids, things like that they don't really have a curfew. They can go to bed at whatever time they can or watch wherever they want, or they just eat chicken nuggets. And, you know, I worry, you know, about her kids sometimes because they'll be screaming at odd hours. I understand like maybe 5 minutes, but when it gets over 20 minutes, I have a little bit of concern.
And you know it's 20 minutes because you're timing it?
Yes, and I also have a text message exchange with my neighbor.
I was being facetious. Please give your entire evidence folder, the whole folder, ma'am. The whole folder, please, to my bailiff. Thank you.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
You ended up calling the police. And this is how the Child Protective Services got involved.
Yes.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Melissa Simmons, who brought Hannah Brooks to court for emotional distress.
Okay, so let's start with this text message between the two of you ladies.
It was my neighbor, not.
Oh, this
I'm sorry,
is a
not-
different neighbor.
Yes.
So this is you gossiping about this neighbor to another
Yes.
neighbor. Okay, got it. Do you hear the screaming coming from the Simmons? Okay, I can hear it across the street. Yeah, it's been bothering us for the last 20 minutes. Is everything okay? I feel like I should call the police. I think it's just a squabble from what I can hear. It doesn't sound like the police need to be involved. If this continues much longer, I will call them. I'm worried about those poor kids. Okay, so you ended up calling the police. And this is how the Child Protective Services got involved.
Yes.
Had she ever called them on you before, ma'am?
No.
Has anybody ever called Child
Never.
Protective Service on you before?
No.
And what happened to the investigation?
So I was on the phone with them, and they said that they may come out or they may not. And I ended up having to get a lawyer, pay a retainer fee for the lawyer.
And you have a receipt for that?
I do have a receipt for
Please,
that.
Elijah, please retrieve the entire folder from the plaintiff. Thank you, ma'am.
And
what did the lawyer do or say? Or what happened
the
ultimately?
lawyer investigated and it found out that the case is now closed.
Okay.
Then in the meanwhile, my children have been completely traumatized. So
And-
I've also had to go to a psychiatrist to make sure that they're okay.
I am looking at the investigation from Child Protective Services, and I want to read this. This is the nature of the allegation. Children, twins experiencing neglect in the home, often left in the care of the mother. Mother is at work night and day. They are taught inappropriate behavior and are allowed to watch adult content. The home is very cluttered, and the children are unable to live comfortably. Oldest child is verbally abusive to the younger children when no parent or guardian is present. You were the source of all of this information I just read aloud.
Yes.
And are your children still allowed to play with each other?
I'm okay with that.
Judge Eboni's verdict when Equal Justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
That tells me a lot, Ms. Brooks. If she was so horrendous that you needed to call law enforcement on this lady, why in the world would Mother of the Year you allow your one and only golden child to go over to her house and play? I was willing at the onset of this case, Ms. Brooks, to entertain a notion that you reached out to Child Protective Services, really through the police, in a good faith effort because you had genuine and reasonable concern around the safety and well-being of this woman's children. But through your own testimony, quite frankly, I am not convinced that you are that concerned at all about the actual well-being of her children. Therefore, the court rules in favor of the plaintiff for the full amount asked. I believe every dollar of this is because of you, Ms. Brooks. $3,900 to the plaintiff. That's my ruling.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $3,900.
Any final thoughts?
I feel relief.
Any final thoughts, ma'am?
I feel for her children.
Okay. Judge has made a ruling. Please grab your belongings and follow me.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.